Chapter 7. The Disputed Heirloom. The walk to the old manor farm took them through a narrow kissing gate and across a meadow where the grass was still damp with dew. Nancy found herself admiring Miss Marple's stamina. The elderly woman moved with a steady, purposeful gait, her umbrella poking at the ground like a surveyor's tool. As they approached the dilapidated stone farmhouse, Nancy's pulse quickened. The windows were gray with dust, and the garden had long since been reclaimed by nettles and wild briar. "Stay close to the hedgerow, dear," Miss Marple whispered. "And remember, we are looking for a ginger tabby with a white tip on its tail." Nancy nodded, playing along. "Oh, Fluffy, where could she have gone?" she called out, her voice pitched with just the right amount of youthful concern. While her voice drifted toward the house, her eyes were scanning the ground. Near the side entrance, a heavy oak door with rusted iron hinges, the mud told a story. "Miss Marple, look," Nancy whispered, pointing. There, clearly imprinted in the soft earth, were the tracks of a man's dress shoes. The tread was narrow and expensive, totally unsuited for a farmyard. Beside the indentation in the mud was a rectangular indentation in the mud, as if a heavy object had been set down for a moment while the bearer fumbled with a key. "The vanity case," Nancy breathed. Suddenly, a curtain flickered in an upstairs window. A man's face appeared for a fleeting second, gaunt with a sharp nose and a dark mustache, before vanishing back into the shadows. "That's him," Nancy said, her voice low. "That's the man from the train." "Quietly now," Miss Marple cautioned, drawing Nancy behind a large yew tree. "If that is indeed Silas Grymes, he is a man driven by desperation. Desperate men are like cornered badgers. They bite. But look there, Nancy. Do you see the chimney?" Nancy looked up. A thin, wispy trail of gray smoke was curling from one of the stone stacks. "He's cold," Nancy noted. "More than that," Miss Marple replied. "He's burning something. But look at the color of the smoke. It's dark and heavy. If he were burning Mary's papers, parchment and old linen paper, the smoke would be white and light. That dark smoke comes from green wood, or perhaps damp coal found in the scuttle. He isn't destroying the evidence yet." "Why wait?" asked Nancy. "Because he is a gambler. I remember a Mr. Henderson, a very shifty character who ran the races. He never threw away a winning ticket until the race was officially over. Silas likely wants to keep the papers as a plan B. If the court case goes against him tomorrow, he might try to use the papers to blackmail Mary for a portion of the inheritance in exchange for her lost documents." Nancy's jaw set. "Not if I can help it. Miss Marple, the cellar window is cracked. I'm small enough to slip through. If I can get inside and find where he stashed the case while he's occupied upstairs." "It is a risk," Miss Marple said, her expression grave. "But as they say in the village, faint heart never won fair lady, or in this case, a fair inheritance. I shall stay here and keep watch. If I see him coming down, I shall start calling for Fluffy at the top of my lungs. It is a most distinctive signal." Nancy squeezed the elderly woman's hand, then dropped to her hands and knees. She crawled toward the cellar window, her mind already calculating the angles of the room inside. This was the Nancy Drew of River Heights, fearless, agile, and ready for action.